next to nothing. And having free pillages is pretty damn strong.
But I mean, I've spent a good amount of time soloing Stillpath and Gyre and going like deep into survival missions, but you get up in 500 to 1,000 and Gyre just it falls off very fast. And I'm that weirdo. I prefer subsuming over her 2. I don't like the grouping of her 2, and her 1 has been such an amazing help because it can stop enemies in their tracks, even for a second, but that can be so useful in Stillpath when you're solo with her. At least for me, the way I play.
Yeah, I kept her 2. I subsumed over her 1, which seems to be more unpopular from what I've seen.
Oh no, that's the more popular. Most people subsume over her 2.
Huh. See, whenever I see a wild Gyre out in the wilderness, I always see the big gigantic dome of the first ability.
Well, I should say I'm going off of what builds you'll find online, not necessarily what I see other, because I also don't see a lot of Gyres out in the wild. You know the funny thing? I really do not see a lot of Revenants around these days. Is it just me in the lobbies I've been in, or have you noticed that?
I think for the most part what happened is because Overguard became so much easier to get that it hasn't been used as much.
Oh, I do, Tillman. Reaper and I both love Index. It's our preference for credits. Neither one of us have ever liked doing Profit Taker, and we've never invested because you'll hear people talk about how fast and how much credits you can get off Profit Taker, but you either got to get a full team who knows what they're doing or do a very expensive build that requires Rivens. Like the speedrunning builds for Profit Taker pretty much flat out require Rivens to do, as well as deep into the Railjack intrinsics. Because there's a website that Wilting sent me that's maintained by like the best Profit Taker speedrunners, and dear God. No, we spend a lot of time in Index, but we're usually in a relatively full party, and we run Rhino. Reaper and I both do for Index.
Yep. Generally, whenever I'm doing Index, I actually run Limbo.
Hello, Limbo enjoyer.
Well, the thing is you play a goalie.
Yep.
They can never score. So, if I have any type of randos, they can go do their thing, or I just wait for the AI to bring me a pile, and then I go run it in.
I still personally love Limbo for spy missions. Apart from Lua. Lua spy missions don't need Limbo, and I run Titania on those.
I pretty much exclusively run Loki for spy. I know a lot of people love Wukong for that, but
yeah. I love Limbo
I'm
for
set
it.
in my ways.
It's a zero forma build, and the only other thing you have to have for it is shade, either regular shade, prism shade, or shade prime, and it just makes spy missions super easy. Does the same thing that pretty much Wukong does of just ignoring all the lasers and crap. But I also know I'm weird in how much I love Limbo. So I have a soft spot because it might have been with you. I don't remember if it was or it was one of the other players we were playing with that was an LR4 back then. But my deepest run in Stillpath Circuit was with me running Limbo.
You should try, if you want a really easy, deep run circuit, Warframe, take Valkyr.
Oh yeah, we've done that one too.
She is ridiculously strong in circuit.
To be fair, these days I don't have much of a reason to touch circuit anymore. I do eventually want to get the rest of the incarnates. It just I ran it because you gotta remember, we started playing when that was the new hotness. So of course, as soon as we got access to it, and especially Still Path, that was like all we did every week. It is a lot easier now. Now that I have more frames fully built out, more weapons fully built out, I have found Circuit is more fun now.
Yeah, you can mess around in Circuit more rather than having to, like, oh, if I don't get, say, energy economy decrease or cold damage decrease or whatever.
There is one place, Nightwave. For new players, pretty much of your Nightwave credits should go to Nightane. Pretty much that's it. There are technically other places in the game to get it, but it's like a less than 1% drop chance. Yep.
Just be glad it's as easy as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to know the old way to get Nightane?
I know Zadrius told me about it before, but I do not remember it. But go ahead and let them know how painful. I know it used to be painful.
Incursions. You'd have to. It was a specific incursion that could show up, and you had to support the corpus to get the 19 extract, and you got one.
Oh no, it's actually, I thought it was less than 1%. But so like Plato on Lua, it's Crossfire Exterminate. It's one of the few missions outside of sabotage missions that has the resource caches, and the final resource cache has a 1.29% chance to drop one. And I have ran that mission a lot. Again, I love Lua. Like I've found, I think at this point, 7 different really easy repeatable methods to break out of the map on Lua, if that tells you how much I play on that tile set. And I have done this mission, opening all the caches probably 60, 70 times now, yet to get one of these ever.
Yeah. And as far as for finding neural sensors, one thing that you want to do is when you're looking at the map on your orbiter, down in the bottom right-hand corner, there's going to be a thing for resource drones. And if what you see there is Nightwave, just click on resource drones underneath it. They'll change the icon above it. Mouse over to where it says deploy extractor, and that will show you what resource drops on that planet. So if you're looking at Earth, that'll get you neurodes, rubido, ferrite, and detonite ampules. I believe for neural sensors, one of the first places that you get that is Jupiter.
Yep.
I think the next one is Pluto. I'm double checking myself here. Nope, not neural sensors there.
I don't remember. It's been so long since
I know
I've hunted
there's
for shit.
2. At least I could have sworn there was 2 places.
I thought there was too. Sedna?
Oh, no, I guess it is just Jupiter.
Found the, oh dear God. Oh crap, how do I, fuck.
What?
I always have Reaper here to remind me how the hell to give someone permission with Wisebot to post the link. Don't post the link yet, Toma.
Oh, neurosensors is on the fortress. That's the other one. I knew that there was 2.
Oh, actually, you're a sub, Toma. You can just you can post links. I was double checking the protections. The zero format ash build. Oh my. What am I looking at?
Casino deposits.
Oh my sweet
What?
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, also let y'all know another thing my version of this website will have is the ability to report things.
Just wow.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. I really don't. Random, completely unrelated to Warframe thing. Did you hear about Linus Tech Tips Twitter getting hacked again?
No.
The funny part is it turns out Linus had gotten phished.
Oof.
Uh-huh.
Oof.
Oh, come on again.
So, all right. So I just wanted to show you this because I think it's funny. So I'm just gonna stand right here. I'm gonna look down and dodge roll. You want to go and do a dodge roll towards me?
Hold on. Oh, that was not it. That was... Oh, fuck! Wrong direction, but... Almost.
So what makes this even worse? I can make it actually farther.
Close. That's the one frame I have parkour stuff on. And you know exactly.
So I basically, yeah. And I have run out of room. I cannot actually go my maximum distance.
Jesus. Dude, it is so oddly fun to play with high parkour velocity frames. Whee.
Well, the fact that I could go all the way down here over to the arsenal. I didn't get the right angle this time around. I ran out. But yeah, I decided that I wanted all the parkour velocity. Including the arcane to increase it.
I just phased through a ground. Whee!
Ow, my head.
Hey, I can do it with this frame. Granted, I'm using an ability. On stands.
I mean, I'm technically using ability. I have infested speed on.
Dear God. By the way, for those who are newer, I am currently on Zephyr.
And I'm on Loki with way too many speed mods.
I love running Zephyr on the planes of Eidolon just to do this.
I was thinking about going over to the plains first, but yeah. All right. But
I live up here now.
I do have to go to sleep though.
Oh.
But hopefully, chat got to learn something out of all of this.
Thy takes notes. Like, legitimately, I'm fairly certain. Thy, I believe you just using paper notes.
It's that one student in class.
Sticky notes.
Wait. That one student in class that asked the teacher to keep the overhead up just a little longer while they're typing things out or writing things out.
You know, for the longest time, I never noticed this W right here.
Oh, yeah.
And I was when I was redoing my companions.
How about the go back to Zephyr? Prime specifically.
Oh no, yeah. After I noticed that too. Where the fuck is she? Yep.
So what's your highest score?
I haven't done that one yet. I have not actually. I saw it, but I can't mean to play with it, but I have not done it yet. And Worms, not very high.
Do it.
Not very high.
Do it.
That's one thing I always tell people about Warframe. It's a lot, but it's really not that hard once you learn it. It's just, you got to think how long the game's been out and how much they've added and changed and added and added and added and added and are still adding.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a lot to it to learn.
255. What am I at? Just because I'm curious. 2200. Okay. So to beat my score on this, you have to get greater than a 14.
Crap. I got a 2. Do you know how long it's been since I played Flappy Bird?
I never played Flappy Bird.
Fuck!
I have only ever played Zeffy Bird.
Fun fact, I've made Flappy Bird. Never played it a little bit, but I made it one day or one weekend for fun in Python way back in the day. Oh no, we also, besides just that, you heard us talking about
There's also Frame Fighter. But that is broken. That mode is straight up broken.
What's your high score in Wormius?
2200. Cracking relics, Thigh.
That's all primes. Ah, crap.
Rip.
Rip the dream. Oh, I was always horrible at side-scrolling shooters. This stuff always destroyed me.
See, and I found for this rendition of the game, the red power-up, the one that gives you the, like, artillery with gravity, it proved for me to be the best one.
Motherfucker. Zephyr
Hey,
Voltage.
you did get, better than you did before.
Let's see.
Zeph. Just scroll down to the bottom. It's alphabetical.
I know. She appears to be vaulted. Yep. She is currently vaulted. Currently, the only unvaulted frames are Baruch, Gauss, Grendel, Hildren, Nyx, Protea, Revenant, Valkyr, and Wisp.
Of those ones that I would highly recommend, aside from just saying all of them, but Revenant, I would say, is easier getting the Prime than it is the main Warframe. Baruch and Gauss the same way. Grindel's actually really easy if you have arbitrations. Baruch, Gauss, Hildren, those are kind of annoying farms, my personal opinion.
For a new player, though, this is the easiest way to get Grendel because arbitrations does require still path.
Yeah. Protea is one that I would say is another one that is really annoying to get the normal version of, even though you can get that early on. It's the drop rate sucks.
And of these, in my personal preferences, I love Revenant for high level still path content, which you're not worried about yet. And I always warn new players off of getting Revenant just for this. I mean, he's good, just for the sheer fact of it can make you a little bit of a lazy player. So if you ever have to not use Revenant, I've seen people who get too used to not having to worry about getting damaged. It's one of those kind of things. Start using Revenant once you get really good at the game. Protea,
I would say a good weaning off of Revenant is Rhino.
Yeah.
If you have somebody who has dedicated too much time on Revenant, have them play Rhino to wean them off.
Oh, I still say everybody should get Revenant. Revenant's amazing.
Yep.
And he's very good, and I probably would have said something like he will make everything easy. Yeah, I would still stand behind that order personally.
I would actually put Wisp near the bottom of that list, honestly, because Wisp standard is really easy to get. A normal Wisp is very easy to get.
Now, of the unvaulted ones, I would still say Protea is an amazing frame. She can do so much, and she's really fun to play, and it's also hilarious to blind your fellow teammates with blade nades. I personally enjoy doing it.
There's better ones to blind with.
Yeah, but she's also just good in general, and she can blind her teammates.
And so is Vauban.
Yes. And as I've talked about many times, Hildren was, apart from Korra, it was Korra and Hildren that carried me through Still Path Star Chart. Especially when I first got access to Still Path, Hildren was who I lived on for most of that.
Mm-hmm. Valkyr is also a trap, kind of like Revenant, where Valkyr can make things a little too easy. And you're constantly invulnerable to damage, so...
And I always love it when people ask me for a Gauss build. I only have a meme build. I don't like Gauss enough to have a real build.
Meme builds can be good, though.
Because I've got a Firewalker on him. Because I find it funny.
See, I personally think Gauss is one of those frames, kind of like Haro, where you kind of want his full kit.
Oh yeah, I actually think Gauss is really good with his full kit. Again, I did it for the lulz.
Yeah.
And because he now leaves a nice little fire trail when he runs, which I find, again, considering what Gauss is, funny.
Yeah. Let me think. What would be another? Oh, and another thing, never think that a primed version when it comes to the Warframes specifically, that a primed version is going to be leagues better than a normal version. The differences are so minute and usually don't really make any massive difference.
The only thing is, if you are a free-to-play player that makes primes good, is the extra polarities. That's it.
Yep.
Prime weapons, though, are a completely different story.
That's a different box, a different can of worms. Probably the biggest, I would say the biggest
You're gonna say
from
Glaive Prime?
non-prime. No. The biggest difference from a non-primed to a primed, Tiburon.
Actually, just recently built Tiburon Prime. I need, actually, well, I as in actually created it. I need to actually put a build on it. Yeah, Glaive Prime's another one. Regular Glaive, not really good. Glaive Prime, apart from the Incarnate's, pretty much considered one of the best melees in the game. Although, as I often say, if you have the melee arcanes, Zorus.
Zorus, when it comes to the glaives, Zorus is really good if you have the arcanes. If you don't have the arcanes, a glaive that can mostly keep up with the glaive prime is it's like Sirs starts with a C. Let me scroll up to it. Serata. The Serata can kind of keep up with Glaive Prime for what it does. But that is, a very specific play style. And if you don't want to do that play style, then don't do it. There's many other weapons that are very strong, especially in melees. The Gunson, for example. A lot of the fan weapons are actually really strong, but nobody really plays them.
I should put a build on Guns Prime simply because I had to for Elite Deep Archimedia, and it was hilarious running that with Calervo.
The Oma is another one that's actually really good. Especially with arcane or with melee arcanes. It just makes it kind of funny. The Zaz are staple mark good, especially because of arcanes. If I want to get away from the arcanes, you still have like Gram Prime. Galatine Prime is still really good. Heck, one that you kind of get sort of for free, the Paracesis. Those heavy blades are actually really good.
As we were saying, that some frames, it's far easier to get their primes. Technically, even the vaulted ones, it's easier to spend time earning platinum through mods and other sources of earning platinum through trades with players, and then just buying the prime parts off the market than it is trying to farm those frames.
Broken War, which you get for free, is a really good sword.
No, Revenant Prime is far substantially easier to get than regular Revenant. It took me a shocking amount of time to get the rest of the blueprints for Revenant.
Just kind of going down the list of Warframes that are annoying to get, that specifically do have primes, because some don't. So the annoyance factor is still going to be there. Looking at you, Steinax. So Equinox Prime, way easier than standard Equinox, just because normal Equinox you have to basically farm twice. Whereas Equinox Prime, you only have to farm it once. Let's see here.
As we mentioned, Grendel Prime, because you have to have access to arbitrations and the missions to get the parts once you've we first have to do arbitrations to get the currency, the arbitration currency, to buy the stuff, but you're not buying the blueprints or the parts. You then have to go do missions, and if I remember right, those missions disable all abilities.
Not all
Or
abilities.
is it
They
mods?
disable all mods.
Mods, that's right, sorry.
Yep, and you also lose access to certain abilities, i.e., your 5th ability.
Yep. So, Hildren's another one. Hildren technically really isn't that hard, but
It's reputation.
It's reputation. No, you don't have to have any rep to do it. Or if somebody can carry
really?
you through it.
Mm.
Because I've taken somebody who had like 0 Fortuna rep to crap, it's not Profit Taker, it's Exploiter.
Yeah.
As you have, but to do this, you have to have Thermia. Was it Refined Thermia?
Yeah. No, just Thermia.
But yeah, and that requires doing Thermia fractures, which besides just being a bitch to do, you're going to be doing that a lot to be able to get all of Hildren's parts. So Hildren Prime is another one where the Prime is going to be easier to get, and she's unvaulted, so she's even easier to get.
And I believe Baruch is there too, if I remember correctly. Isn't Baruch and Hildren same place?
I do not remember. Baruch. Oh, so it's Fortuna, but it's Little Duck.
Yeah.
So much easier. Although, granted, they have made the Fortuna grind substantially easier, but still.
Yes, but remember, you do have to get rank 5 of Fortuna to get Little Duck.
Yep.
That it's a problem. So that's why Baruch is another one of those. For certain people, Ivara, because some people just hate spies.
Mm-hmm.
Korra is another annoying one to get. Let's see here. Some people say Mesa. I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. Regular Mesa was pretty easy to get. Although I had Mesa Prime before I had Mesa, but that's...
Yeah.
Y'all do not want to know my heavy spending back when I started playing this game. Dear God.
Titania Prime.
And as we already mentioned, Pro T as well.
Yeah. Let's see here. Excuse me. I got a tickle in the back of my throat and I just cannot get rid of it.
And one that does not have a prime that we mentioned, where the fuck is he? This motherfucker, Steinax.
Oh. Okay, the problem with Steinax, for anybody who doesn't know, is he is time gated. He's easy to get, but he will take forever to get because he's on a weekly.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe because of that time gate, he is the longest in total number of hours to get. However, he's, you're only doing the mission maybe 1 or 2 times a week, maybe 3. Depends on how well you keep everything going.
Can I just say, as an aside, I am glad that I don't have to do that every week anymore.
I'm going to pick up a couple extra of the mods from there, but I don't have to pick up another Steinax. I already got the 2.
Well, I was doing it every week for the Archon shards back then, or for the Archon back then.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it being on Bird 3. I'm running Netracells and Elite Deep Archimedia every week pretty much, so like even though I buy every week, I'm still sitting at like max rep for the Kavia, so. As we said, Revenant's a bitch. Octavia can be a little annoying, but the best part about Octavia is It's annoying because finding her room where you get her part can be a little bit of time consuming, but there's also a chance of getting a fully built forma every time you're in that room.
Yeah.
Not a blueprint, a fully built, ready to slot in whoever you want forma.
I guess for some people, unless you have somebody who's already done what they need to do for Arcwing, some people might say Atlas, but realistically, no. Just because J3 Golem.
Oh, of course, in this list, which aren't really Warframes, but everybody's favorite grind is for the Necromex. Oh my god, I did not realize.
But you can buy the parts now.
Yes, I did not know that. Somebody pointed that out.
And they've always been tradable.
Yeah. Oh, when I found that out, I was like, oh, thanks, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, that's actually where I'm stuck with my alternate account. Because I need to get the Necromech so I can do the new war, and I have all the parts because obviously I can just go and buy that. I just have to farm and get all the other bits.
You know what's really hilarious about that? The first time I did an isolation vault, it was too early on. I just did not have the stuff to be able to do a tier 3. And again, it was back in the day of spending platinum like it was, not valuable in the slightest. So I just bought it. But now I actually, again, it's like Lou, I actually enjoy running isolation vaults solo.
Yeah. I mean, and the sad thing is because of the annoyance of Necromex, I still, even with as easy as it is to get them in comparison to what it was, if you were going to spend money on this game, buying the Necromech would be my suggestion. Outside of, only spending platinum on things like slots. Just because I personally think that it's kind of horrible on DE's part to lock that mission behind the Necromech.
And it's been a hot minute since I've done it, but isn't it just used one time in that mission too?
Yes, it is only used one time.
Like, just give people a Necromech to use, dear God. Because they've even talked about how they want to streamline people getting to 1999. That is, I think you'd agree with me. That is the biggest holdup for almost everybody getting past the main quest line.
You want to know something that's even funnier though? Is that whole, we removed the MR requirements going through the star chart. No, they didn't. Yes, you don't need it. The junctions are no longer MR locked. So you're not going to run into you must build an MR1 weapon to go to Jupiter, or whichever one it was that did that. However, you still are MR locked to get to arbitration. Because you have to be minimum rank MR5 to go to Oro on Earth to kill Vahek.
To be fair, I actually very weirdly think they should re-MR lock everything. But that's with my suggestion of turning the junctions and mastery rank into what I've called the mastery tree. A tree that very much just like a vertical tree that, the game pushes you very hard to look at, that at each MR up to probably MR 15 or 16, says, okay, to complete either this mastery rank, or I would say just to complete this mastery rank, you have to, and that wouldn't require mastery locking the junctions. You have to complete things like building a new Warframe, upgrading mods as a better way to help new players. Like, here is in order what you need to learn and how you need to learn it, and it would, I think, be the easiest way for them to improve it.
Yeah. See, and what I personally think, another thing that they need to remove, actually, is they need to take Saya's Vigil quest out of the storyline.
Yeah.
Because that pushes the players to think, oh, I need to be doing open worlds.
Oh, that is the biggest trap for new players so fucking much.
And that is something that you want to actively avoid. Because Earth, you can't, coming from somebody who's been playing this a long time, you can't do Earth as a new player. You just straight up can't. Nighttime comes around and it's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Because you lack the tools. Venus, and because I've done this recently, because I am doing a, hey, old Warframe player playing back at stock, brand new, and with a little bit of a handicap, I have to use the weapons I started the game with. And I have to use the Warframe that I started with. So I'm stuck with my starter Warframe, the Mark 1s. That's it. And the very first quest, when you go to Venus on Fortuna, I barely scraped by. And that's with knowing all the tricks and knowing how to mod.
It's like I remember when I got to doing the Deimos questline the very first time, I thought I was ready to go. And the first time I was out there in that open world on the quest where you have to be solo, I couldn't kill. I don't remember the name of the enemy because I am horrible with names if you hadn't guessed. But it's the bigger enemy that's in the open world.
The idle one?
No, on Deimos, not on Earth.
Oh, on Deimos? The bigger enemy on Deimos. Are you
Long
talking
penis.
about the one that comes out of the ground?
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
But I also remember when we were starting back then, and it was like, go here, do stuff, and I loaded in. I'm like, I really have no idea what the fuck to do with this place.
Yeah.
That is still very fresh in my head what it was like as a new player.
Yeah,
I am just so happy new players are not pushed to potentially start in Duviri anymore. That was so dumb.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I always leave my suggestion for doing the open worlds until somebody's started to really heavily push through the star chart, and then I'm like, yeah, now you want to start focusing on them for the rep, for the reasons of there's stuff locked behind that rep you're going to need, especially for new war.
Well, the thing is because the game has evolved to the point where it is, there are so many concepts that overlap at the wrong points. Because technically, Cetus, Fortuna, and kind of Deimos as a whole, because it was the derelict before, the open worlds I think should be unaccessible, as in just you don't see them, kind of like the Zeramin and the Kufa Fortress, until after you get done with the war within. They should just be invisible. You can't go there. Because then at least you have the tool for Cetus to actually do it.
I would say I would agree with that for Earth, but I'd say at least Fortuna I think would be fine after second.
It's not scaled. Yeah,
most players by the time they
agree.
hit second dream, I think they'd be able to handle Fortuna. And also I think just especially like after you come up second dream, getting pushed to go to Fortuna next, and just that opening sequence of Fortuna.
I mean, yeah, you could probably do that. The thing that I have kind of against Fortuna is it's not scaled very well. It really isn't. The enemies
none of the
there
open worlds are, so
none of them are, but Fortuna is oddly scaled wrong. Because those enemies, like if you take a Fortuna enemy level versus a standard star chart of the same level, they hit way harder.
okay, we did this to somebody else the other night, and I'm gonna do this to you now. You should leave now before we start another conversation. I think it was like 30 minutes ago you said you're going to get off to go to bed.
20, but
Yep. But thank you for coming in and helping with that. As I always tell people, no one in chat ever feel bad about correcting me. I am far from perfect on my knowledge. And I love people like Farseer coming in to help with stuff that I don't know or don't know completely.
yeah, my thing is I'm old to this game. So I lived through all these weird changes, and I know where the overlaps of what is now versus what it was before they implemented certain aspects. So it gives me an interesting insight to it.
Yep.
But all right, you have a good stream.
All right, thank you again for coming in. You have a good night, sir. Yeah, Farseer was one of the ones very early on who drastically helped Reaper and I. Was one of the high-level players. And also, let's also do this while I'm thinking about it. Crap. Farseer also does stream, so everybody go give them a follow. Farseer is, as he said, very long-term Warframe player, extremely knowledgeable, also extremely helpful. But since we haven't really been playing for the last 3 hours, I figured let's go do an arbitration survival for the reason of why
Life
not.
support has been cut off. They're trying to choke you out. Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
Where are we going? Let's find ourselves a place to chill for this.
Tenno, prepare for life support.
What the hell is that there? Oh, it came out of a container, I guess.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
Ooh. Owie!
Life support on the way. life support capsule.
Yeah, the vault runs are an amazing way to get some stuff you need. Let's see if we can go find somewhere better. We were just, oh, I'm getting stuck.
Life support has been replenished. Additional life support has arrived.
Look at them. They come to this place when they know they are not secure.
Man, we're just not getting a huge amount of spawns right now.
My brothers, did I not tell of this day? Did I not prophesize this moment?
All right, though.
Our operative is making progress.
Oh, that could actually be a good spot to go. A lot of times on this tile. Oh, hi there, Vor. Bye, Vor.
If the Tenno wants true salvation, they will lay down their arms and wait for the baptism of my Yanis key.
Man, still talking, and he already did.
Destroyed, but through its Yanis key, the void called to me. It brought me here, and here I was reborn. This death is temporary. My existence is forever. I cannot be destroyed.
It's gonna be very weird sitting in extract, but you'd be surprised how many times this has actually been like one of the best places to just sit on this tile set for survival.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Strong crystal. That is what I wanted. You bastard. The club.
Look what our Tenno operative just found. They could not do this without them.
And now we chill.
Additional life support has arrived.
Bum 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 ba-dum. Dan knows I was not kidding when I said this is a surprisingly good place.
You are running out of time. Consider extraction. support activated. Another life support capsule is now available.
Welcome back. Now you gotta love how angry my specters get about this dude I've got trapped here. They spend the entire time trying to kill that man. I don't know what she's so worried about. Zaku Scalar is full power. What do you mean? Talking about where I'm like this, where I'm a skeleton instead of like the full normal Zaku? It's not that it's more powerful, it's just Zaku's 4. Her 4 locks her timers. So if you notice on my ability bar down there, my 2 is at 17 seconds and it's just chilling there. And see, it starts going down, then my 4 is inactive, activate it again, and it stops it. So what the 4 does is it essentially stops your timers in time. So it means there's a cast time, so how long it takes for me to recast the 4. So it's not a permanent thing, but it essentially means you can keep up your abilities like the 2, which is all the guns you see there on the left side of me. That's where I steal weapons from my enemies. It allows you to keep your abilities up pretty much indefinitely. Zaku also has that ability. That locks that person in place, but everybody that gets close to that person loses their armor. So it does armor stripping. So that also, you'll notice the timer for it is actually above where you see Furus for my secondary. You see me rotating out the abilities right there? That's a Zaku 3. Pretty much use that one I have selected right now, and it will, well, I should say it can reduce the armor of enemies. Zaku is not one I would try to push for anytime soon. Zaku is very much an end-game frame. You get the most benefits out of Zaku towards the end game, and that's mostly doing these very, very long-term missions like I'm doing right now. Like, Zaku is a frame that's very good at going to level cap.
You will all share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.
Well, that's my own dude. I don't want to talk about how many times I've tried to kill my own specters. Oh boy, still chilling there. No, I can
Support has been
shoot it all I want. Not gonna hurt him. Motherfucking nullifier. I don't want to admit how much my brain was about to be like, man, where's Reaper tonight? I know he's off. Before my brain remembered, oh yeah, he's at GCX right now. It's a convention. Originally, it was pretty much just a Destiny convention, but I believe it's now pretty much just gaming in general, if memory serves. Having some fresh fruit.
Our Tenno operative just found. They could not do this without you.
I doubt Warframe's ever had a presence at GCX. Since while it is kind of gaming in general, it is still very heavy Destiny focus. But I don't know. I said I doubt it.
Life support levels. Extraction is your best option.
don't know why she gets so worried. We're fine.
Critical life support levels. Extraction is the best option.
Yeah, she is very convinced extraction is our best option right now.
Life support has been replenished. Life support activated.
Motherfucker.
The longer you fight, the more successful we will be.
Alright, nice little 30-minute arbitration survival. I think we'll go ahead and 2-2 skidoo.
Hey dreamers, we are up and ready to party.
As long as the enemy is here, this tower is useless to us. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
Bam.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
The Tenno are lost, and they will resist. But I, Vor, will cleanse this place of their impurity.
This is a mobile defense mission. You must deliver payloads and defend a number of locations while I break into the network. Be prepared for heavy resistance. I can't do this without you. Here is a terminal. Get me in and get ready to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment. Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Prepare for incoming support.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Area completed. Move on. I need access to a terminal. Find one and patch me in. Location reached. Drop me in and defend our position. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
What in the tam canch is Grendel? Grendel's Grendel? Grendel's Mr. Uwu. Uwu. Uwu.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Wait for it. What are we waiting for?
We are finished here. Move on.
Yeah, coming to get you, bud.
Terminal spotted. Upload me and prepare to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
And yes, Grindel has a big appetite. He likes to eat things.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
He also used to have the most heavily used subsume in the game, so the ability that people would take and put on their other Warframes. Grindel's ability used to be the most popular. It essentially would fix the energy economy issues of a lot of frames in the game. It's still good, it's just nowhere near as good as it was. It used to be pretty much every Warframe ran Nourish.
The odds were against us, Tenno, but we did it. Mission complete. Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Oh, yeah, I love Sleep Token.
It is time. I will teach these trespassers the redemptive power of my Yanis key. They will learn its simple truth.
Our position has been compromised. Defend the cargo until reinforcements arrive.
I'll take your spine. Gonna be here a while. Really? One nade. You couldn't move off of one nade. Could you stay still? Oh. I want to know when we're getting the pro coffee Warframe. Slivers.
last of them. Objective is secure. Let's go.
Thanks, sweet Jesus. The fuck? Did I hit Kuva? And the last couple sorties I've done have just not been worth the time and effort anymore these days. Alright, guys. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, I've got 0 energy. Like, about the time Farseer left, I just went, phew. And it's not fun for anybody. I'm just sitting here like, I had more energy when I was up for 24 hours, I think. Oh, so I'm gonna go to bed. It was a long ass work day. Unless anybody has someone off the top of their head we can raid. Let's see. Yeah, he's playing First Descendant, but he's been a long time supporter. Good friend. So we are gonna go raid Raka. Good dude. Show him some love. I'm gonna go watch some anime and pass the fuck out. Nice part is I don't have to copy his username. I can fucking... But yeah, y'all go show him some love. Thank y'all for summoning in. Should be on tomorrow night as well. And then, of course, our weekend streams are usually long as hell. Y'all have a good night, everybody. And we will see you next time. Peace.
you